catch, let's shoot over the top and hit that bottom corner. Cool? Yeah, you guys are like 3 feet out. Okay. I'll do one push-up for every time.
Favorite part about coaching is, again, just watching kids grow. You know, seeing kids as a freshman and working their way all the way through their senior year is really what I'm looking forward to most. I've had a lot of good coaches over the years, and they kind of taught me a lot and really helped in the growing process, not only as a player but also as a person, and I kind of wanted to give that back. Kind of class sizes being really small and hands-on really kind of helped mold me into a person that learned through that style, and that's kind of philosophy I have as a coach, really hands-on learning, and then also just the communication and connections we have with the faculty here has kind of helped me to mature in that sense. I think being here since the program started has kind of helped me understand what Piedmont's all about and what our program's about. Kind of how to get around the school, how to be able to be successful at a program like this, in a college like this, and that's kind of helped me transition into a coach. I feel like I can kind of connect with the players and understand what they're going through on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, I'm getting my Master's in Business Administration here, and I think it's a good fit for me. I get the opportunity to coach, and I get to work with some of the faculty that I was here during my undergrad, so I already had that connection. And it's, again, still the small school feel, and kind of helping hands-on with business as well. I've been coaching for the last 5 years now. I started with ATL. It's a travel team out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been the head coach for the last 4 years. Actually won 3 championships this summer with that team, so that's where I was before this. Typical day of coaching, get in, check to see who all has been admitted into this college, recruit-wise. Sit down with Coach Dunton, work out a practice plan for the day. Then, you know, get the practice plan down here, get set up for practice, go through a practice. Afterwards, sit back in the office with Coach Dunton, talk with him about how practice went, and start preparing for games. Yeah, so what we look for in a player, for us, for our philosophy here at Piedmont, we're looking for athletes who love the game. Piedmont being a more academic school, we obviously look for kids who can get a good scholarship here academically. But people that are just a good fit, looking for a small school, looking to help build this program. Learn, soak up everything. You know, you're going to have a lot of mentors, and for the better or worse, they're going to teach you something. So learn from the bad and learn how to fix their problems. And the guys that know what they're talking about, definitely listen and latch on. And from those two, create your own philosophy and go with it.
I wanted to become a counselor because I went to a lot of counseling when I was a kid, and I think that it helped me get to where I am now. So I want to, I guess, pay it forward and help some other struggling teenagers that are having different problems with their identity or any type of things like that. Freedom Hill is a 12-month recovery home for women. We have like drug addicts, and it can be like go from heroin to meth, alcohol. We've had people in here before that had like some types of eating disorders, but it's mainly for like drugs and alcohol abuse. And it's 12 months. It's different and it's unique because it's not like a state-funded program. Like we're a 501c3, which means that we operate off of donations, which is why we have a thrift store, because it's a Christian-based foundation. The ladies go to church. We do regeneration, not rehab. Regeneration is different than rehab because rehab just means returning to a former state. Regeneration is like becoming new, like in Christ, and changing your life. Like rehab, you don't want to return to a former state, because if you return to a former state, then you could start using drugs again, because that returning to your former state, obviously there was something in your former state that made you start to use drugs and alcohol. So we do regeneration, where you just kind of become born new and start your new life. I do like the cash register and like anything with money, I do, or like a staff person would do. And there's one girl right now in the program that can relieve me, and that's because she's in the 4th phase of the program. So like you get different opportunities as you phase up in the program. There's 4 phases, and so once you're in that 4th phase, you're kind of trusted with more, so she can relieve me and handle the money. But the girls are the ones that set everything up. They come in on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and they go through donations that we get over the weekend, and they bring it all out on the floor. They come up with our different sales every week. Like, we operate on a color system like Goodwill, so we have like every month there's like a color that's 75% off, the color that's 50% off. But we also weekly have sales that we do, and the girls come up with that. And they do customer service. It's good for them, and it's good for their recovery. And it also teaches them life skills. Like, some of them may go into like retail right when they get out, like just depending on, like, so they have this skill.
My favorite part is working with the girls, as much as sometimes they overwhelm me. It's working with the girls and seeing them grow. Like, there's a girl that when I came here as an intern, she had only been here for like 3 months, and she's gonna graduate in like 3 months. Like, and so it's like I got getting to see the process. Like, because when I first came here, she was like really quiet, didn't really speak up, and now she's like the house leader, and she is just a totally different person. And so it's really rewarding to be a part of that, like, in someone's life. There will always be people that leave, and it sucks sometimes, like if someone leaves that's been here for a while, but when you see the success and you see the ones that come in a mess and not really having much for their lives, and then they're leaving and they're like just a totally different person, it's rewarding, and I just love interacting with them and seeing their growth.
I live here and I work here, so it's kind of weird, because it's like, it's not one of those little clock in and clock out, go home, like my home is here. So I have to do the girls' meds at 8 o'clock every morning and at 8 o'clock every night, which means I have to wake up at like 7 on my own, but the girls have to wake up at 6, so randomly I have to wake up at 6 and make sure they're out of bed or they'll get right up. It's basically almost as if it's like a crazy RA, but on them 24/7. Like, and it can be overwhelming at times, because it can be like I can't have it's hard for me to make plans, because anything could happen and my plans could change, and that's just how it is, and that's how ministry works.
It's also a selfless career. Like, you can't, especially when it's like a live-in thing, like I can't be selfish. Like, I can make plans and be excited about going out on whatever night it may be, but if something happens, I have to be selfless and change my mind and deal with that. Like, and it can suck if you don't love it. Like, if you're lukewarm about it, then it might not necessarily be for you. But if you have a passion about it and you want to see like how much you can help someone, then you should do it.
Aiden, Graham, Eli, Ralston, and Natalie. You're grabbing whiteboards and a marker, and you're writing our trick words. Our new ones and some that are on the wall. Stella, Eric, Millie, and Joseph. You're getting an iPad and you're writing them on the iPad. Go grab them on the seat.
Well, I wanted to become a teacher because I wanted to do a job that made a difference, and I felt like with the skills that I have, that was the best way for me to do it, is to be a teacher and to teach kids. I mean, because what they learn in elementary school is going to affect them the whole rest of their life. If you don't get math right now, you're not going to get math in high school, and then you're not going to be able to get the kind of job you want to get. So I felt like to make the most impact was to do this job. all the professors in the education department have taught school before in some way, and so that was beneficial to hear, like, some of the things they did that they wouldn't recommend us doing or would recommend us doing, and it was just kind of insight that I don't think I would have gotten other places. Well, I'd had to take what's called the GACE to pass that to get my certification. And then after that, I just started applying to jobs. I applied to Hall County just because that's where I'm from, and my parents have lived here their whole life. And this is actually the school that I went to when I was in elementary school. So I had connections there. The principal is my 4th grade teacher. So this was like the one interview that I had, and I got it. So. I actually went to Walker Mountain, which is also in Hall County. They set up kind of like a partnership with them, and we all did our practicum there and our student teaching. And so one of the teachers I had from practicum, I student taught with, which is really kind of nice because I already knew her and I knew the kids, and we worked really well together. It was a really good experience. I don't think there is a typical day of teaching. I mean, it's different every day. You have a set schedule, but it's always open to change depending on their mood for the day, or some technology doesn't work, something goes wrong, and you have to kind of wing it or do something different. So it's very good to be flexible. I like to plan, like, have everything ready for at the end of this week, I'll have everything ready for next week, and like everything copied and ready to go. Not all teachers are like that. I know some of the ones that have been teaching forever, they do it day of, right there, spot on. But I'm just a planner, so I normally have it. And that Piedmont did help me with that, because we had to do elaborate lesson plans at first, and now my lesson plans aren't that elaborate, but if I hadn't have made those elaborate lesson plans, I wouldn't be able to make the ones I have now and it'd be as organized and run as smoothly as it does. Probably the kids, they're fun in all ways, really. Just the reward of them learning. I mean, whenever something like clicks or they reach a certain level in reading, like, just to know that I've helped in that is just really rewarding and makes it all worth it. Well, being an RA, you had to handle a bunch of different parents and things, and now coming and being a teacher, I've noticed that I'm a lot more comfortable than some beginning teachers in that, because I was used to facing parents and having to talk to them about certain things and having that sort of professionalism about you and the way you handle things. So I think doing that for 3 years definitely prepared me for that aspect of teaching. To make sure you really love it, because if you get in it and you don't really have a passion for it, you're going to be miserable. Because I definitely, as soon as I got in here and started doing it, I was like, this is definitely what I'm supposed to be doing. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And being flexible, like I said, because you never know what's going to happen. And being open-minded too, because you're going to deal with some interesting people.
Okay, so what are some of the things that you enjoyed about Piedmont in your time there?
What did I enjoy about Piedmont?
Thunder, don't pop a blood vessel. Cut! Joe got that on camera. Fantastic. Yeah, he did.
That's how we go away from the store. Ralston, we're about to move that clip. About to say one word. Thank you. Yep. No. Shh. No bugs. Yes. Not in.
I graduated in 2015 in December. Hold on, I want to do that again. I'm Chas.
You're fine.
I can't do this.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both those recording.
It was different because, you know, most job stuff, they're not going to talk about Christ-based stuff because, I mean, it's America and everybody gets all offended. might want to take that out. Anyways, but
From those two, create your own philosophy and go with it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.